evening, everyone. My name is Mary Beth, and I am teaching the Hatha Yoga class on Tuesday evenings here at the JCC. I'll give a lot of instructions and modifications to poses. I'm gonna, if you have, I know everybody doesn't have this, but yoga mat, if you have blocks, 2 blocks I always recommend, and a strap. But don't worry if you don't have them. I'll give instructions and modifications, so you do not necessarily have to have them. So tonight's practice or intention is going to focus on heart openers. Many people, when they do a lot of heart openers, they feel very vulnerable. The way that I'm going to be constructing this class is that we're going to be working on them very gradually, easily, and well supported. So hopefully it'll be a very positive, calming experience. So we'll start class lying on your backs. I see a chat, so I'm just going to quickly check. Make sure I didn't miss anything important. That's fine. You don't need a camera or microphone. You should be fine as long as you can hear me. Okay. So if you just lie on your back, the option that I'm going to give you is Supta Baddha Konasana. So lying on the back and then bending the knees, bringing the soles of the feet together and letting the knees fall out to the side. And if you need to put something to support them, feel free to use a block or something. If it's uncomfortable for you, I know some people just prefer just to put their feet on the mat with their knees bent and rest. Then we'll just begin. There's some great options, but if you don't have a camera, that you can lie on a block between the shoulder blades, which helps open that chest a little more. So even if you can't see this, and then maybe placing a block under your head, you do not need to do this. Supta Baddha Konasana is just fine as it is. This just kind of enhances with a gentle supporting of the back as we open. So just begin with closing your eyes. And whatever variation you're taking, arms can be out by the sides, palms facing towards the ceiling. And just relaxing. And begin to focus on the breath. Allowing that inhale and exhale to be both full and of equal length and duration. Inhale, belly rises, lower chest, then upper chest. And then as you exhale, lower belly drops, lower chest, and then upper chest. Just continue to breathe, focusing on your own breath, your own pace. And now we'll gently come out of our introductory breath. So if you're on a block, feel free to set it aside. And bring your knees together and let the legs extend straight. So you're lying on your back. We're going to do some hip circle warm-ups. So bend your right knee in and then grab onto just beneath the shin, just beneath the knee, and then begin to move the right knee, making circles. So you're basically making circles with that right hip. So just gently guiding that thigh and knee around as you go in one direction, that right hip. And we're going to switch directions. Whatever movement feels good for you today. Now come back to center, interlacing your hands, grabbing onto that right shin just beneath the right knee. Begin to pull that right knee towards your head, and then begin to pull that right thigh and right knee towards the floor. So just brushing gently along the right side of your body. Continuing to breathe. And then release the right leg. Now then, bring that left knee in. You can just take your left hand and just use that on your left thigh to begin to make hip circles with the left leg. Taking again, whatever movement feels good for you to warm up that left hip. And then switch directions. And then come back to center, and then this time grabbing onto that left shin, pulling the left knee towards the back of the room, and then beginning to pull that left thigh and knee towards the floor. And then releasing the left leg down. Feel free to wiggle the toes or fingers if that helps. We're going to now do what I call dynamic bridge pose. So bending both knees again, back is still on the floor, and then taking the heels close to your buttocks, knees are directly over the heels, toes are facing away from you. Arms are going to be by the sides, palms facing inward. And I'm going to first just do some dynamic movement with breath. Inhale, lifting arms up overhead, so arm fingertips reaching towards the back of the room. And then exhale, bring the arms back to start. Again, inhale, lifting up arms up and overhead during that inhale. And then exhale, bringing the arms back to start. Do this a couple more times with your own breath. Right, and have that inhale be the same length and duration as the exhale. One more full round before we add on. So now we're going to keep that same arm movement, but when we inhale, we'll both lift our arms up and overhead, and at the same time, press the feet into the mat and lift the hips up straight. So we'll start. Inhale, lifting hips up, arms lifting overhead, fingertips towards the back of the room. And then exhale, lowering arms and hips back to start. Again, inhale, lifting hips, lifting arms, trying to keep those knees stacked over the ankles, not splaying out to the side. And then exhale, lowering back to start. And just do this a few more times with your own breath. And I encourage you, if you want to pause maybe at the end of the inhale, feel free to do that. Keeping that breath in just a little longer, bringing a little more, retaining the energy a little longer. And the next time you come to lift your hips up, arms overhead, you can pause there just for a few breaths and bridge. And then exhale, lowering back to start. And then we'll just take our feet slightly wider, so closer to the edge of the mat, and then let the knees fall in together to touch. Just taking a few breaths here, realigning the spine. And then we'll hug knees into the chest and roll over to one side. And then we're gonna do one more pose before we go into our first flow. And it's gonna be lying on our stomachs. So lying on your stomachs, legs are extended. I call this wide-armed cobra. So I should be able to describe this even though you can't see me. So you're gonna lie down, head towards the mat, and you're gonna bring your fingertips directly under your shoulders, so coming onto the fingertips. And now you're gonna walk them a couple inches off the mat, maybe slightly forward. And so you're gonna keep those fingertips tented. You're gonna ground the hips into the mat, tops of the feet are grounded into the mat, and we'll do this dynamically first a few times. Inhale, begin to lift as you lengthen the torso up. And then exhale, lowering the torso down. Again, trying this a couple more times with your own breath. Each time you inhale, you maybe go a little bit more as your body gets accustomed to the movement with breath. Now lift, exhale, lower, and the next time we're gonna pause when we get there, up. Inhaling, lift, lengthening as you lift, long spine. And then exhale, lowering the torso down. And now you're going to take your left forearm parallel to the front of your mat, palm of the hand directly under the forehead. And then you're going to take your right hand, place it on top of that left hand, and then the left forearm is parallel to the front of the mat as well. So basically your hands are stacked and your elbows are out to the side, and you can just let your forehead gently rest on those stacked hands. And maybe even gently rock the hips side to side if it feels good. Now bringing the palms of the hands into the mat, come up to your hands and knees. And this will be our first flow. And again, just as we usually do, we'll build this flow, build onto it. We'll come to regular hands and knees. So the spine is long, wrists are directly underneath your shoulders, palm, 3 fingers in the middle, either facing in front or slightly dialed outward. And then just bring those wrists like an inch or 2 in front of the shoulders. Whatever works for you, knees are underneath the hips, shins parallel, so all fours. Inhale, belly drops down, tailbone lifts, head lifts, coming into cow. And then exhale, rounding the back, tailbone drops down, head drops down, cat. Do this 2 more times with your own breath. And then we'll meet back in neutral spine. And our next movement is we're going to go from a slight cow pose. And then on the exhale, we'll bring our hips back, coming into child's pose. So we'll do that a few times. Inhale, belly drops down, slight cow. Exhale, hips move towards heels. Torso begins to lower, extended child's pose. Inhale, all fours, coming into slight cow. Exhale, extended child's pose. 2 more times, just like that, getting your body used to the movement, getting that breath flowing freely in and out. And now I'm going to explain how we add on. I know you don't have video, so you won't be able to see me. But the new movement is going to be the same that we just did. All fours, like cow, coming into extended child's, and do that 2 rounds. And then from extended child's, we'll lift up, coming onto our knees and shins. So our hips are stacked over the knees, torso is over those hips. And then as we inhale, those arms come out and up overhead, long spine. And then exhale, begin to bring the hips towards the heels, bringing the palms of the hands towards the base of your spine as you begin to lower the torso down. You don't make it all the way. And then 1 more time, again, lifting up to knees and shins with hips and torso, arms overhead. And then exhale, hips towards heels, palms stacked, base of spine, head and torso towards floor. So that we do 2 times, and then you walk your hands back to all fours. So I'll talk us through the first couple of rounds. Inhale, coming into slight cow. Exhale, coming into extended child's. Inhale, mild cow. Exhaling, extended child's pose. This is where we change. Inhale, coming just onto the knees and shin as hips and torso stack up, arms and fingertips overhead. And then exhale, hips begin to move towards heels, hands stack at the base of the spine behind you, head and torso towards the mat. 1 more time. Inhale, lifting onto knees and shins, hips, torso, arms and fingertips towards the ceiling. And then exhale, hips towards heels, palms and hands stack at base of the spine, torso and head lower. Walking your hands forward. And repeat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, extended child's. Inhale, cow. Exhale, extended child's. This time again, inhale, coming just onto the knees and shins, hips, torso, arms and fingertips towards the ceiling. Exhale, hips towards heel, arms, palms stacked to the base of the spine, torso and head lower. 1 more time like that. Inhale, just knees and hip, or knees and shins, torso, fingertips and hip, overhead. Exhaling, hips towards heels, palms, base of spine, torso, head lower. Walking hands to all fours. Continue these movements with your own breath. Again, two cows to extended child's pose, And then 2 of the coming onto knees and shins, and then lowering down. And don't sweat it if you forget. Just continue to do movements with your own breath. And just think of doing the movements in pairs. So 2 of each combination. And I welcome you, if it feels good, to take pauses, maybe on the end of the inhale, holding that breath in. Feel free to do that. That should be pretty energizing. Do one more full round like that. And then when you're done with that flow, feel free to just take a few breaths in child's pose. And it doesn't have to be extended child's pose, it's whatever works for you. You might want to, if you have a block, letting your head rest on, the forehead rest on the block. You can just let the forearms and palms of the hands gently rest on the mat. Whatever works for you. And then slowly we're going to come up to stand. And we will face straight ahead, taking your feet so they're a couple inches apart. So a normal stance. Spine is lengthening. Suggestion of the tailbone reaching towards the floor, but you're not flattening that lower back. You still have that natural curvature. Arms are by the sides. We'll do some more dynamic movement with breath. Inhale, lifting arms up and overhead. Arms, fingertips towards the ceiling. Spine is long. Exhale, lowering the right hand to the right side as you bend to the right. Inhale, lift back to center. Again, lengthen spine. And exhale, lowering left hand towards your leg as you bend your torso and upper arm to the left. So we're just going to continue with your own breath, the side-by-side bend lateral movement. Each time you go through the center and inhale, try to think about lengthening the spine, tailbone reaching towards floor. And as you exhale, try to keep that lengthening in your spine, both sides of the torso, as you bend to one side. And the next time you bend to the right side, we're going to pause there. So if you want to make little slight movements, release a little, lengthen, and gradually deepen, or just hold. And remember, hips and torso continue to face towards the front of the room. And then inhale back through center, maybe taking an extra inhale, keep lengthening, and then exhale, bend to the left. And inhaling, coming back to center, both arms overhead. And then exhale, lowering the arms by the sides. We'll do a dynamic movement flow moving into Uttanasana. So again, the feet are a couple inches apart, torso's long, and if you are somebody that likes to use a block when you fold forward for a little bit of support, have that block there if it's available to you. If not, it's not a big deal, you don't need it. So inhale, lifting both arms overhead. And then exhale, slight bend to the knee as you fold towards the floor. Fingertips to the mat or the blocks. Then inhale, lift to a flat back. Torso's parallel to the floor. Hands come to the shins, knees, or thighs. And then exhale, rebend in the knees as you fold. Then inhale, torso's long, lifting up. Arms, fingertips towards the ceiling as your legs straighten. And then exhale, lowering arms out into the side. Again, inhale, lifting arms out and overhead, long spine. Exhale, generous bend to the knee as you fold forward, torso's long. Fingertips reach the floor or block. Inhale, come to that half lift. Torso parallel to the floor, tailbone reaching behind you. And then exhale, rebending the knees as you fold. Inhale, core is engaged, torso lengthens as you straighten your legs and lift up. And exhale, arms by the side. Next time we come down, inhale, arms overhead. We're going to spend a few moments there, fold it forward. Exhale, slight bend to the knees as you fold down. And then here, we'll just let your hands rest on the mat. Maybe make some more generous bend to the knees, or bring your hands to your blocks. Torso dangles down. Some people like to grab onto elbows with the opposite hand and maybe gently sway that torso and head side to side. If you're swaying side to side, come back to center, releasing the elbows. Inhale, straightening your legs as you lift to a flat back, torso's long. Exhale, folding back down, knees slightly bent. Inhale, long torso, lifting up, arms, fingertips overhead. Exhaling, arms by the sides. Okay. We're going to do a few other poses. We're going to move into Warrior 2. And we're going to have so standing at the front of the mat, couple inches space between your feet. Step your left foot straight back. And so you want to do that railroad type stance. So the heels are in line. You might even want to step your right foot out to the right a little bit so you have that long stance, but railroad track alignment. You want to have your hips and torso facing towards the side mat, a little bit forward, but towards the side mat. That front knee, so that right knee and the toes are both pointing towards the front of your mat. And that left foot is going to be at an angle so that your toes are more in line with the knees, so pointing in that same direction. But you do want a long stance because we're going to be coming into Warrior 2, and Warrior 2 is a very nice and generous long stance. So what we're going to do is we're going to just start with our hands on our hips, torso facing to the side, but then bring your gaze so it's facing towards the front of the mat, and we're going to dynamically inhaling here as the right leg is straight, and then exhale, begin to bend that right knee so the right knee goes over the ankle. Knee is in line with the toes, same direction. Inhale, lifting straight up, straightening that leg. And exhale, rebending the knee. So this is a really good way to make sure that you have the right length. So if you want to lengthen or shorten your stance, feel free to do that. And by doing this a couple of times, we're making sure that our body's trained and thinking about correct alignment. So next time you straighten your leg, now we're just going to go dynamically. So lifting the arms parallel to the floor, gaze over the right fingertips. Inhale, right leg is straight. Exhale, bending that right knee, warrior two. Inhale, straight leg. Exhale, warrior two. One more time, inhaling straight leg. And this time, exhale, warrior two. And we'll just stay there for a few breaths. So if you need to make any minor adjustments, feel free to do that. Be able to deepen a little bit more as you warmed up. And then inhale, lifting up. Bring hands to the hips, feet together, and then we're gonna do the other side. So this time, we're going to take I gotta make sure that I'm taking the right leg back, the left leg back. Okay. So this time you're gonna have both feet facing at the front of the mat, and this time you're gonna take your right foot back. And again, take that long stance. Check out your alignment. Hips, torso facing towards the side. Hands on hips. Inhale here. Exhale, bending that left leg. Knee over the ankle. Same direction as the toes. And then inhale, lift up. And we'll just do this a couple of times with your own breath, making any adjustments that you need. Or if you're able to go maybe a little bit deeper. And next time you straighten your legs, arms parallel to the floor, gaze over left fingertips, inhale here, and then exhale, bending that left knee, warrior two, inhale, lift up, exhale, warrior two, two more times. And then hold for a few breaths here. Maybe lengthening your stance, hips maybe can get a little lower. And then inhale, lift up, bring the hands to the hips, feet together. We're gonna go back to that first side. So right toes forward, stepping that left back, left foot back. So again, towards that warrior two stance. But what we're gonna move between is we're gonna move between arms parallel to the floor, right leg straight, gaze over right fingertips. Inhale here, exhale, then right knee, coming into warrior two. Inhale, straighten right leg, left hand to the left thigh. Exhale, lifting the right arm overhead as you begin to arch back. Inhale, lifting back, arms parallel to the floor, gaze over right fingertips. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, straightening that front leg. Left hand goes to the floor or to the back leg. Exhale as you bend back. Right arm overhead. And then inhaling, arms parallel to the floor. So exhale, warrior two. So just keep doing this with your own breath. Inhale, straightening leg. Back hand to back leg. Exhale, arching back. So just do this a few more times. And then bring your hands to your hips and we'll switch sides. So over the other side, stepping that right leg back. So left foot's forward, inhale here, exhale, bending into warrior two. Inhale, straightening leg, right hand to back thigh. Exhale, arching back. Inhale, arms parallel to the floor. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, straightening leg, right hand to the back. Exhale, arching back. Do this a few more times. Again, if it feels good to pause at any point, maybe warrior two, or maybe when you arch back. And then coming back to center. We're going to come onto the floor right now. If you have blocks, grab them, keep them towards the front of the mat. We're going to come onto your knees and shins towards the front of the mat. Well, actually, you're going to take your right foot, place it in the front of the mat, facing towards the front of the mat, knees stacked over that ankle. And then you're going to take your left leg back and lower down on the left knee or shin. So this is going to be a low lunge or knee down lunge. Sometimes people like to put like a blanket or something under that left knee if they need some cushioning. And then you can bring your hands just to the mat, or if you have blocks, this is perfect. Bring your hands to the blocks. And we're going to slowly begin to lift up. So we'll start with our hands on the mat or fingertips on the mat. Torso is long. We want to keep that straight back, keep that spine lengthening. And you feel free to stay here. But what I'll give you is an option. Again, we're really moving into this lunge. But we can take, if it's available to you, if you want to come up, keep that back long, but begin to bring your hands onto your right thigh. So again, keeping that torso long, gaze ahead, and then I'll give you one option. Possibly you can turn to the right. So you do this slowly, keeping the spine long as you begin to twist. So you can take your left hand outside that right thigh, inhale here, and then exhale, twist to the right. And then you can even walk that right hand back, let it rest on top of the tailbone, or maybe even wrap it around back of the palm outside that left hip. Gaze can be to the side or over that right shoulder. And then exhale, begin to come back. And hands down to the blocks of the mat, and we'll switch sides. So just talking you through it, the right foot is at the front of the mat, knees stacked over the ankle, knee is pointing same direction as the toe. That right leg goes back, knee down lunge, so the knee and shin are on the floor, top of the foot is on the floor. You can bring hands to the mat on your fingertips. We want to concentrate on, moving into the hips, so moving into that lunge. Maybe begin to walk your hands onto blocks if you have them. But keep that spine long and lengthening the whole time. And then begin to, if it's available to you, take one hand and the other hand on top of your thigh, pausing here, keeping spine long. And then we'll take that right hand outside that left thigh, close to the knee. And inhale, lengthen through torso. Exhale, begin to twist to the left. Then you can even walk that left hand down. Maybe let the back of the palm rest on the tailbone, or maybe wrap it back of the palm outside that right hip. Gaze to the side or over that left shoulder. Slowly moving back. And then we're going to come into lizard pose. We'll do one more. So this time that right foot is back in front, right knee over the ankle, and then that knee down lunge with the left knee and shin. And you can bring your fingertips to the mat. Knee is directly over that ankle, so you have that right ankle. And you might want to move that right foot out to the right a little bit. And you can just have your hands here, spine again is long. Hands are either on the mat, or if you have a block or blocks, feel free to walk onto them or put your hands onto them. And if it's available to you, you can always take your forearms down onto the thighs, but it's not necessary. And we'll give you the option, as long as your knee's directly over that ankle, you can do a slight twist here by taking your right hand, keeping that right foot flexed, and gently move that right thigh out to the side, and then maybe even twisting to the right. Or just stay where we were. You're out to the side, come back to center. Slowly walking your hands back. And then we'll switch sides. So this time your left foot is forward. So we'll come into that low lizard. Left foot forward, knee over ankle. Bring that right knee and shin back. Fingertips can be either on blocks or on the finger or on the mat. And then making sure that you keep that left foot flexed. You can walk your left foot over to the side. And just continue to deepen into that lunge. Hands maybe on mats or even blocks. And again, I'll give you that option to continue here, or take your left palm on the inside of your left thigh, making sure you keep that foot, left foot flexed. Begin to push that left thigh away from you. Again, keeping that left foot flexed. And then even maybe twisting your torso to the left. Lower spine, middle spine, and upper spine. Maybe gaze over your left shoulder. And that's just an option that may be available or interested. And then bringing the knee back to center. Slowly coming out of this pose. We'll just do a few more. Your forward folds and some twists. So legs extended sit it straight. Legs straight, left foot flex, then right foot. Take right foot outside left thigh. Sitting bones grounded into the mat. Take your right fingertips to the mat at the base of the spine. Inhale, lengthening through your torso, and then exhale, twist to the right. You can take your hand outside that right thigh or knee. Maybe even your upper arm can go outside it. As you twist to the right. Exhale, come back to center, other side. So this time you have your right leg straight, keeping that straight. Then left leg, left foot outside that right thigh or knee. Left fingertips to the base of the spine at the floor, or you can even put them onto a block. Inhale, spine is long. Exhale, slowly twist, lower, middle, upper spine. Gaze over the left shoulder. And then exhale back to center. Unwrapping your legs. Lying on your back, we'll do some windshield wipers. So torso's on, you're laying on the back. Knees are bent. Knees are stacked over the ankles, but bring the feet so they're mat width apart. Bring your arms out to the side, making a T with your body, or goalpost your arms. Inhale here as gaze and knees are towards the ceiling. Keeping the feet wide on the mat where they are. Exhale, lowering just the knees to the left, gaze to the right. Inhale, bringing gaze and knees back to ceiling. Keeping feet wide on the mat where they are. Exhale, lowering just the knees to the right, gaze to the left. And then continue these movements with your own breath. Each time you come through center, knees and gaze towards the ceiling. And each time you exhale, knees will go to one side, gaze to the opposite side. And then coming back to center, gently hugging your knees into the chest. And let's just make some circles with your lower back, gently massaging the lower spine. And then we'll come into final relaxation. So if you want to take Supta Baddha Konasana, feel free to do that. Or just let your legs extend straight, letting legs and knees fall out to the side. Letting arms fall out to the side, palms towards the ceiling. Closing eyes. Letting all the goodness from that last hour settle in. begin to waken up your body, bringing a little movement into the toes and fingers, movement into ankles to wrists. Then reach your arms overhead, arms and fingertips reaching towards the back of the room. Legs and toes reaching the other side. One long full body stretch. Then hug knees into the chest and gently roll off to the right. Pausing there. And then press hands into the mat, pushing your torso up, coming up to sit. And then just letting your hands rest on the thighs so we can bring the palms together at heart center. I want to thank you all for coming and practicing yoga with me tonight. I hope you have a wonderful evening and rest of the week, and I hope to see you next week. Namaste.